Hey guys, welcome to the 2 a.m. pipe on the patio 2 p.m. edition. It's a nice day today, very warm out, much warmer than I thought it was going to be. It's been raining this morning, but it got a break in the rain, so I thought I'd come out here and grab a quick pipe. And I am smoking the newly acquired 320 Beyonda. Beautiful pipe, great smoker. Trying to decide if I want to get some 6mm filters for my 320s, or if I want to try the adapters that bring them down to 3mm and try those. Usually I just smoke them without a filter and without the adapter, so they're just 6mm wide open. And I really kind of like it like that. It's almost like a reverse calabash type of a deal. And I've always smoked them wide open like that. And they smoke nice and cool that way. But I think I'm going to try putting an adapter in them and seeing how they smoke that way. It's just so easy to draw them like this. I don't know. We'll try it and see how it does. I'm going to try them each way, and I'll let you know. I have some of the balsa filters, so maybe I'll do a video if I do get some 6mm of the Savinelli charcoal filters. Maybe I'll do a video of a pipe with each thing in it and see which one I like the best, or which one I think smokes the best, or if there's a difference between how each one smokes. I'll smoke the same tobacco in each pipe and load them all the same way. Give you my opinion. So maybe I'll go into Milan this weekend or something and see if they have any 6mm Savinelli filters. So I'm a member on one of the Facebook groups I belong to is virtual. I think it's Virtual Pipe Club, and then I'm also on. There's another one on there that I can't remember the name of it offhand. I just joined it not too long ago. Somebody was talking on there about having to relight their pipes. Oh man, ooh, that hurt. And somebody replied to him. The guy was saying how he has to constantly keep he was smoking Molto Dolce, which is super wet tobacco. But the guy on there told him, somebody replied to him and said, you know, if you're lighting it more than 3 times, you're doing it wrong. You know, you shouldn't be relighting your pipe all the time. This guy's a new smoker. He's just started smoking. And so I replied to him and I said, man, you're a new smoker. This goes for anybody who's starting, anybody who smokes a pipe, no matter what your expertise level is. If you're smoking a pipe, you can't smoke it unless it's lit. So you got to keep lighting your pipe. So if any of you guys are getting people telling you you should only light your pipe twice or 3 times and you should be able to smoke it the rest of the time, that's baloney, okay? Take it from me, it's baloney. You light your pipe as many times as you need to light it to keep your tobacco lit. Some tobaccos you can light them once or twice and they'll smoke the whole bowl through because they're dry tobaccos. Some tobaccos you're going to need to keep relighting them. Some tobaccos like Black Irish Twist, you're going to light and light and light and light and light because they're covered in oil and olive oil and it's hard to keep them lit unless you dry them out for hours before you smoke them. So don't let somebody tell you that you should only have to light your pipe twice and you should be able to smoke it all the way through, because that's baloney. That's bovine scatology. So you can't smoke your pipe unless it's lit. So that's the only thing you need to remember. That's the main rule of pipe smoking. Pipe smoking number 1, you can't smoke your pipe if it's not lit. There are a lot of factors that go into keeping a pipe lit. How you pack it, how wet the tobacco is, how you're puffing it. When you're new to pipe smoking, the only thing you should be working on is how you're puffing the pipe, how you're sipping it. You should be sipping your pipe. Just trying to get enough. This should be a straw in a Coke, in a cup of Coke, a drink, and it should be a straw. And you're just sipping enough to just get enough Coke onto your tongue. Not filling your mouth with the drink, but just getting enough to wet the tongue. You're just sipping it in, and you're just getting enough to wet your tongue. And if you smoke your pipe like that, you're not going to get tongue bite. You won't get any tongue bite. And if you focus on that when you're starting to smoke your pipe, the rest of your pipe smoking journey is going to be a breeze. If that's the only thing you focus on for the first months of your pipe smoking journey, you're not going to get tongue bite. And it's going to be smooth sailing from then on in. And you may not keep your pipe lit while you're first starting, and you'll have to keep relighting. But once you get that down, you'll be able to keep your pipe lit for the most part. You're not going to get tongue bite, and you're going to enjoy smoking your pipe. And that is what it's all about, is enjoyment of smoking the pipe. Don't worry about how many times you got to relight it. God, that just drives me nuts when I hear people say that. Especially to a new guy, to a newbie. They should be telling them the stuff that's going to keep them from getting tongue bite, going to help them in the long run of smoking a pipe. How many times you relight is not helping anybody with their pipe smoking. You relight as many times as you need to keep your pipe lit. Period. If you're talking with people while you're smoking your pipe, it's going to go out. Just like when I'm talking on here with you guys, my pipe will go out because I'm talking and I'm not smoking. But if you take little sips, you're going to get more flavor. You're not going to scorch your tobacco. You're just tasting it. You're tasting it, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. You're not burning it. You're tasting it. And that's how you get good results from smoking a pipe. Sipping. Little sips. God, that just drives me nuts when I hear a new guy who's it was his first time smoking a pipe, and they're telling him, you should only be lighting it twice. You should only have to light your pipe twice. That's the worst thing you can tell a new pipe smoker. Man, you light it as many times as you need to light it. Focus on sipping your pipe. That's the only thing you should be focusing on when you first start smoking. Learn how to pack it. Teach them how to pack the pipe, and then sipping it. Those are the two most important things you can teach a new person. Teach them how to enjoy their pipe, not the stupid stuff, how many times you should be lighting it. Okay, you're the god of pipe smoking. You can only light your pipe twice. Oh, you're fantastic. This guy's asking for help. He needs help. Give him help. If you run into somebody new, help them. Man, I'm so thankful I had someone who sat me down when I started and taught me how to smoke a pipe. Taught me the right things to do. Drives me nuts. Man, that just chaps my hide. That is one of my pet peeves right there, man. If somebody's asking for help and you get these pompous know-it-alls that, man, don't get me going. Don't get me going. Little sips, like you're sipping a straw. And only getting enough of that Coke to just wet your tongue. You're not taking big gulps, you're not quenching your thirst, you're just wetting your tongue through a straw. Little wisps of smoke. If you need to get your pipe lit back up, then you start, and it'll get your pipe going again, you know. And then you go back to your small little wisps of smoke, just little sips. You'll taste the tobacco. You won't burn your tongue. Take the pipe out of your mouth once in a while. Hold it. Let it rest in your hand. It'll still stay lit once in a while. You know, if you can't take it out of your mouth for a little bit, give your tongue a rest. If the pipe's getting hot, take it out of your mouth. Take it out of your mouth. Let it cool down a little bit. If it's getting hot, you're puffing too hard. Put it back in. Little puffs. It's all about relaxing. Never let your pipe get hot. If it gets hot, take it out. Put it down. Let it rest for a little bit. Let it go out. if it's hot. Let it go out. Then pick it up when it's cooled off, light it up, sip. I would recommend to a new pipe smoker, hold it in your hand. Don't clench it. Don't keep it in your mouth. Don't smoke it like this. Don't do like I do. Keep it in your hand, like Matches did. Watch Matches videos. He always held it in his hand. And he'd take 3 puffs, and then he'd take it out of his mouth. And he'd sit there. And then he'd bring it back up. Take a couple puffs, and then he'd take it down. He held it in his hand all the time. If you're a new smoker, that's how I'd recommend doing it. You know, I was always a clincher. I've always held it in my mouth. And that's just old school how I learned to do it. I'd recommend holding it to a new pipe smoker. It will help you get used to the sipping, the cadence you want, and you won't get into any bad habits of just puffing and puffing and puffing and puffing and puffing. You know, half the time when I have it in my mouth, I'm not even puffing it. We got some flying insects here. I don't know what they are. They're bright red. You got bright red wings. I don't know what they are. Never seen them before. You can also learn to do the breath method once you've got things down, and just check out Mutton Chop's video on the breath method, which is one I do sometimes when I'm really relaxing. When I'm really relaxed and not talking, and I'm just out here alone and not doing anything, not making a video, I'll do the breath method. But anyway, that would be my tips for a new smoker. Sip your pipe. Light as many times as you need to keep your pipe lit, because you can't smoke it if it's not lit. And don't listen to anybody who tells you you should only be lighting it 2 or 3 times, because they're not doing you any favors. Those guys are not helping you at all. They're usually probably, I would venture to say they're probably young guys who haven't been smoking that long. They think they're big shot smokers. and they're not really old guys who've been around a long time and want you to succeed at smoking a pipe. Anybody who's been around and wants you to succeed at smoking a pipe will help you. They will help you. They will teach you the right ways to do things, because they want you to have as much enjoyment out of smoking a pipe as they do. My email address is in the About section of my channel information up top. Email me. I will help you any way I can. I want you to succeed. I want you to be happy smoking a pipe. I want you to get as much enjoyment out of it as I get out of it. My email is pipeonthepatio@gmail.com. Email me. I'd be happy to answer your questions. I want you guys to have as much enjoyment out of smoking a pipe as I do, because man, I love this, and I get so much enjoyment, so much peace, so much relaxation out of it, and I want you to get the same thing. Do not hesitate to email me. I will answer your emails. And another thing that's important to have is a tamper. Like I have this one here that a bearded tamper made for me. You can get a little stick out of your yard and you just carve one end flat, carve a little pointed end at the other end like that, and you can use that as a tamper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can just be, this is a piece of wood that from a limb that fell out of a tree. I cut one end flat, cut one end with a little scoop like that, so I could scoop out tobacco out of my thing if I needed to. You can just find any stick you find on the ground, you can use as a tamper. And all you do with that, when your tobacco's starting to smoke your tobacco, you just take that and tamp it down gently, so that the stuff that's been smoked, you just tamp it down, and you keep doing that as your tobacco is smoked, and it keeps the flame down to keeps the burnt hot tobacco down close to the unburnt tobacco, so that it keeps burning. That's an important part to keeping your tobacco lit. And I'm getting down to the very bottom of my bowl, so sometimes when you get down to the bottom, it'll go out on you because you're done. There's no tobacco left to burn. And that's where I am right now. I am done. Yeah, I still got a little bit down there. I'll try and get the rest of that. But we're pretty much done. I'm getting ash in my mouth, so that means we're done here. And then you just take your end that's carved there, and you just swirl it around on the bottom. Get all the ash out. You take, if you got your pipe cleaner, and you just, excuse me there. Ooh, boy, sorry about that. Just clean out any tobacco that might be left in the bottom. You gently take your pipe, you hold it by the stumble, not like this, like that. And you tap it in the palm of your hand to get any remaining ash out, and you're done. Then you take a pipe cleaner and you'll run it through the pipe. As soon as you're done, you take a pipe cleaner, run it through, clean out anything that's in there, and then you're done. You can clean it with, if you want to use a pipe cleaner, with some pipe sweetener on it or some alcohol. You know, I use Everclear to clean my pipes with. Make sure you don't get it on the stain because it will strip that stain right off your pipe. So when I use Everclear, I hold my pipe like that and I run the pipe cleaner up through it this way so that any Everclear comes off from the bottom. And I only do that every once in a while. I don't do that after every smoke, only when it's getting really dirty. And so that's my tips for beginners. And just don't let anybody tell you you have to light twice or 3 times, and if you're lighting more than that, you're wrong, because you're not. So anyway, talk to y'all later. Have a good one, guys.